are listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio, man. We have another amazing guest today. Man, we are talking to our special guest, Jenny Kaplan. She's the host of the podcast Womanica. And man, she is the co-founder and CEO of the Wonder Media Network. You can visit her website at wondermedianetwork.com. Well, welcome Jenny to the show. Say, how you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on.
So, man, tell us a little bit about this podcast. It's all about celebrating women and throughout history. Kind of tell us what you've been covering.
Yeah. So my sister and I, we created the show together, and we really wanted to feature the stories that we felt like were missing from our history classes and books growing up. And so we talk about women from around the world and throughout history who did all kinds of different things. And we want to do that in the most entertaining way possible. So every day we release a 5-ish minute episode, and it's the story of a different woman from history who you may not know about, but should.
And with the website that people can go to learn more about what you do with wondermedianetwork.com, what are some of the things that you do with your network? And it's an audio-based company.
It is. So we're an audio-first media company, so we make podcasts. And our mission is to amplify underrepresented voices. And so we have lots of different kinds of shows that do that in different formats. So Womanica is a daily 5-minute show. We have a show called I Was Never There that was a seasonal audio documentary. We have a show called As She Rises. There's a new season that's about to come out that's about climate change. We have a show called White Picket Fence that the season that's on right now, it's a seasonal show, is about the politics of motherhood. So there are tons of different shows. We have a show called Teaching Texas that was about how some activists in Texas trying to control what's in textbooks have had an outsized impact on education across the country. There's just a lot to cover and different kinds of shows with different topics for lots of listeners to find things they want to engage with.
You also are part of history yourself. You were named Forbes 30 under 30 list, and you're also an award-winning journalist at Bloomberg News. Using the platform you have, looking back, what's your favorite part of the process of just seeing your work be displayed on big platforms?
You know, I've just always loved stories. I love, so my favorite part of what I get to do every day is being a storyteller, trying to understand how I can help share information in a way that feels compelling and engaging, because I think that telling stories is how we build empathy as human beings, how we connect with each other and can get past the kind of division that we're seeing all the time and really just see people for people and move forward in a way that feels a little bit happier and healthier and more engaged.
The podcast that you're doing, it's a storytelling. You're allowing people, women, to share their story about their history. How important is that for people to appreciate women and what they contribute?
With Womanica, something that I think is so amazing is we're featuring these different stories because so often women in history are put into really small boxes. Like either they were fully good or fully bad. They're, in every era, maybe in history class, you learned about one or two women, but really there are so many different ways that women have had impact over the course of history. And that's true for today as well. So we get to feature on Womanica these quick stories that pack a real punch in terms of showing the different things that women have done in the past, and therefore can be examples of different things that people can do in the future. So that's been a real privilege on Womanica to be able to highlight so many different stories. And I think on all of our shows, we highlight women and underrepresented voices broadly. And so trying to create a platform for people who are too often missing from media narratives. It allows for better storytelling because we're not just sharing the same stories that people have heard over and over again. But also, we want to create platforms for change where change is due. So we want to make sure that we're helping tell these stories, but also inspire action and build empathy.
It's an award-winning podcast. So when you made the episodes short and sweet, was that a on-purpose strategy? Because it's a lot of enemies you have.
It was a purposeful strategy because, people have got a lot of stuff they have to do in a day. They're already listening to a lot of content, and we wanted to build a daily show that people could fit into their media diet that feels like something they can add in. They can make a regular thing. It's a habit without being too much to keep going and to keep as part of what people want to consume on a daily basis.
We're talking to Jenny Kaplan. She's the host of the podcast Womanica, and she also is the co-founder and CEO of the Wonder Media Network. You can visit her website at wondermedianetwork.com. When you look at the future of podcast world, is this the new wave? Is a lot of people saying this is like the next new website for businesses and brands? What do you think about that?
Yeah. So part of our business, half of what we do is we create Wonder Media Network podcasts, and half is we create podcasts for other companies. And I think audio is a really powerful tool for communications. I think it is a medium where the host is in your ears, in your car, in your home, in your space. So it builds a real connection between the host and the listener in a way that a lot of companies want to connect with their employees, their consumers, their customers. So, I don't think that every company that wants a podcast necessarily needs one, but I certainly think that audio is here to stay. It's a really old medium and now sort of a new one through podcasting. And it's certainly something that companies need to have a strategy in terms of how they're going to communicate and how they want to have a presence in the audio world.
Well, make sure you listen to this right now. You go follow Jenny on Twitter. It's Jenny M. Kaplan, and go check out the podcast with Womanica. Listen on iHeartRadio. Check out her company, WMN Media, at Twitter, and also the website, wondermedianetwork.com. I want to say thanks to you, Jenny, once again, taking time talking to us today.
Thanks so much. Have a good one.
You too.